Keenan Shanolds here, West Virginia Land and Home Realty, and you're in for a treat today. We're looking at 1099 Brocket Drive in Springfield, West Virginia. And as you can see here, there's a tremendous view here, and I'm facing due west. And I'm looking, the South Branch, the Potomac River is down there along those fields that you see. The river's kind of wrapping around like this. And when the leaves are off, you might get a glimmer of the river here, but there's two different public access points down there. So that's how close you are, about, you know, a hair over 5 minutes from public access on the South Branch of the Potomac. And then something else I also want to point out is if you see that mountain right in front of us there where the power line's going up across both the power lines, that's White Horse Mountain Wildlife Management Area, and that's about 1,300 acres of public hunting, and the access to that is right over there. So you got the river and 1,300 acres of public hunting ground, you know, about a 5-minute drive away. Now, let me point out this. So there's a lot going on here. So as you can see, we got a really nice pavilion they built here with a fire pit and everything. And then the electric and everything, all your panel box and your meter and plug-ins and stuff, you know, is right there. Nice fire pit. Check that out. You can see down here below us, we got a garage there, and I'll get the measurements on that, and we'll go in that here in a little bit. And that's really not even the main attraction. And what I want to point out is the driveway comes up in and snakes up around up on the top here where we're at. And the driveway's a little steep, but I mean, you can get up here in a car and everything. You know, a Prius would get up here if you needed it to. But this is looking back to the north, so when the leaves come off, you're going to get a pretty big view looking back to the north as well. But you know, this is due west, directly that way. So the sun's going to set right the direction I'm facing there. We're elevated at about 1,300 feet right here. And I'll just start pointing out some things as we go. So the property lays, it's long like this. So the property lays up against the side. This is South Branch Mountain that we're on, and the property's long way. So it runs with Brocket Drive, which is running down there, and goes. It doesn't go to the top of the mountain up here behind of us, but I mean, the ground's on the side of the mountain, but it's really not that bad. The topo, it's not mega steep or anything like that, but we'll just start walking around here and I'll show you everything. So I sold these folks this property back, I think, in 2018, and there was a camper here at the time. And of course, the well, septic, electric, all that was here already. But when they bought this, there was a frame up here for a 24 by 64 pole building. And as you can see, all of this has been excavated out here. And this is all shale. It doesn't cave in or slide too much or anything like that. The mountain's not going to fall in on you. But so they took this frame and did this cabin here, and they left 8 foot for the front porch, so it's 24 by 54. It's about 1,300 and some square foot here. And this is what, you know, I'm gonna call this a barndominium, you know, and we'll go inside and take a look at it, but it's pretty nice. 3 bedrooms and a bathroom. So I'll just, let me walk you around this side first. So this, you know, the barndominium's tucked back in here. You don't even really realize that it's here when you're coming up the driveway. But and they got a kennel, you know, a chain link kennel around it for their dogs to turn loose in here when they're here. Just been a weekend place for them. And there's mini splits, as you can see. There's mini split HVAC for heating and cooling in the place. I'll let you see the back of it. and then a little chain link runs up the side there like that. But you know, this was just cut down in here like this by the excavator, and you know, you got a little hidden spot on the mountain here. And the cab and the barn door's sitting, you know, probably if you're looking at this from the road, a little bit right of center. Going this direction, the property goes all the way to the edge of a power line going this way. Let's just keep going here. I mean, as you can see, you know, from inside the cabin, you know, if you're sitting in the living room there, you can see the view, but you really get it from the front porch. But just look at that out across there. Beautiful. This thing's tucked away up in here. Really nice. Nobody even knows you're here. But we'll go inside here and take a look, and we'll go down, check out the garage and all that good stuff. But just a hidden place on the mountain, and what a view. Keenan Shanholtz here again, 1099 Brocket Drive in Springfield, West Virginia. I want to show you the inside of the Barnaminium here. We're standing on the front porch now. You got a bell up there to ring, but I don't know if there's going to be too much glare, but you'll see the little guard man here holding the skeleton head, and he's actually on a timer, and his eyes light up at night just to kind of deter any criminal activity here, which isn't a concern here anyways, but I thought that's kind of neat. So let's go inside here. This is really unique. So check this out. Wow, right? So the folks built this with the mind, and it's a good idea. If you got kids and pets, they have grandchildren and stuff and dogs and everything. So they wanted to build this place as pretty much indestructible as possible so you couldn't hurt anything here. And so you just got a concrete floor in here. Now you could put laminate floor over top of that or whatever if you wanted to. They just left it concrete. And you know, you got one big open shot through here. So, you know, just a little sitting area here. That's the back of the guard man here. And then you got Superman and his telephone booth right here. And all that woodwork there is pallets, you know, that been refurbished, and they stained them or whatever and made that accent wall. And of course you got a little dining area here, a big bar to sit at. And each one of these rooms has its own head unit for the mini split system, which you could see there. So basically it's temperature controlled, you know, in every room, and there's a door that pops out right here. But if you see, each room has one of these, and you can set it up or down if you want to for the temperature there. So it's a nice system. You got a refrigerator, gas range here, oven, and big, you know, like these are big cabinets down here underneath, so plenty of storage and stuff like that. And what I want to show you, so if you'll see up there, there's a chase that runs all the way out across that bulkhead right there, and that's where all the plumbing and stuff is. And this is kind of like their plumbing room here, and where the breaker box is. All the plumbing and stuff's wrapped in insulation. If you see this little yellow thing right here, it's also wrapped in heat tape. So when it gets down to 32 degrees, the heat tape kicks on, and so they've never had any issues with pipes or anything like that freezing. Haven't had a minute's trouble with anything like that. And like I said, that bulkhead, that's where your plumbing's at and everything running through there. But, you know, big TV. A lot of the stuff here conveys, you know, and there's a detailed list here and everything. But they wanted it to be, like I said, somewhat indestructible, so you got a lot of wood, metal, and concrete in here. And a lot of the walls are OSB. That's typically what you put, you know, as sheeting on a house, but they just use OSB and painted it. So you can nail stuff to that. You can't really hurt it. But this is the bathroom. You got a stackable washer and dryer here. Sink, toilet. There's your bare toilet paper holder. Here's your shower. There was a lot of this tin that was kind of laying around on the property when they got it. And they repurposed this tin inside the house and everything, which is neat. There you'll get an idea like the chase work up in there, and you can see how like you have plumbing, it's all wrapped in insulation and stuff. Take you down here. Bedroom here. As you can see, everything has its own head unit there on the wall, so the temperature control. So if you got somebody that likes to sleep cold or somebody that likes to sleep hot, you can pretty much accommodate anybody as far as that goes. This is the bigger bedroom here. And they even use some shakes there as an accent wall in here. There's your head unit up there. TV and stuff. Crossbow. The gentleman does some excellent hunting here. They got like a little camera there on the front door, and you know, get bear and deer all the time right here in front of the place. And then this would be bedroom 3 back here, which is kind of like a bunk room. Now there's no exit window or anything like that in here, but we're still gonna call it a bedroom because that's what it's used for. TV, and then you know, he just kind of uses this as closets to keep all the tools and stuff in and all that kind of stuff. But those are BB guns, by the way. So a nice little sliding door here, you know. Just a lot of neat stuff they did here. You know, this is a cool place. I mean, if you're looking for a low-maintenance weekend place where you don't have to worry about doing a whole lot of stuff to it, I mean, this is metal and concrete. It's pretty good size. I mean, it's about 1,300 square foot. It has a lot of cool features about it. Now, they have HughesNet here for like satellite internet, and that's almost obsolete now because of Starlink, which you can get here. They have the satellites up, so most people just get Starlink. I mean, I have 5G service here on my cell phone, so you know, no connectivity issues here whatsoever as far as that goes. But you know, if you're just looking for a place in the mountains to come to, have a good time, bring your dogs, bring your grandkids, bring your kids, don't worry about anybody tearing anything up, you can't hurt this place. Big room here. Great spot for everybody to hang out at the bar and everything. Just a really neat place. And I'll take you down next. And we'll check out the garage, the other garage down there. And I'll point out a couple other things as we go. But just look at the view you got from here. It's a beautiful day today, crystal clear. And like I said, the Barndominium's kind of tucked back in here around the curve. You don't even know it's sitting here. Now, when you're going across the bridge down there on Springfield Pike where the public river access is, you can look up and see the garage and the pavilion, but you can't see the cabin from down there. The red roofs stick out. Everything's got a red roof on it, so. Keenan Shanholtz here again, 1099 Brocket Drive in Springfield. I wanted to bring you down here and show you the garage. This is 24 by 24, and there's no hardwired electric in there, but he's got an extension cord running up there to the electric panel. I mean, it's not very far, but he's just got an extension cord run down there. You know, if you need a light or whatever, there's a power source. It's easy to run it down there, but just show you the inside of it here. So, keeps a lot of firewood stacked up in here. Got him a little tractor, you know, tools and all that kind of stuff. I mean, these little garages are good for that. The Polaris four-wheeler, these do not convey. I mean, there are certain few items like the wood and stuff like that, I believe, come with here. But the tractor, the log splitter, the four-wheeler, you know, all that we can discuss after the cabin is spoken for. So, after you make the deal on the barndominium, then if you want to make a deal on the personal property here, we could talk about that at that time. But nice metal frame garage here. I mean, it's essential to have stuff like this. I mean, you know, if you're going to have a place like this, you really do need to have a little tractor. Like, he's got a box plate on that tractor that he, you know, works on the road himself with and everything. So it's essential to have that sort of thing. And of course, you're going to have an ATV or a side-by-side or something like that. But I want to point out, there is a frost-free hydrant down here. He covers it up with that piece of metal in the wintertime or whatever. But see, the camper, I think, when they bought it, I can't remember if the camper set up there where my pickup set, or if the camper set right here. I can't remember. Now I will show you something here. And this is just some leftover metal from the garage kit. There's a big old hornet's nest that I knocked down there the other day and made him really mad, and I didn't get all of them, and I got stung pretty good. So just kind of be mindful of that when you're walking around here. It's bee season. But let me point out a couple things here. So you imagine here you got like 3 little benches in here. You got this little bench right here, the next little bench where my truck's sitting, and then the bench up there that the pavilion and the barndo's sitting on. But it is private up here. I mean, you'll never see a neighbor here the way this thing's laid out, the way the lot's laid out. I mean, it's ultra private here. But it's not hard. You don't got to, other than the driveway, and you could see how the driveway comes up in here. It has a couple switchbacks in it. But the subdivision road getting back in here, you're not pulling any steep mountains or anything like that. I mean, the access really isn't that bad. I want to show you here, though. Man, there's just all kinds of wild grapes and stuff growing up here. That's what those are. These are all wild grapes here growing in these trees and stuff. But the septic, the drain field lays right down in here where all these little pine trees are. And then the clean out is like right here underneath this pine limb. I'll show it to you. I'll get the phone down there so you can see it right there for the septic. So your drain field's down in there. And I believe, I don't know if there's another frost-free hydrant with those blocks around, or if that's the actual well itself. And the well here gets a lot of water. I'll have the well completion report on there. And then they redid the outhouse there, even though you don't need to use it. That was here initially. I don't know. I don't want to lift that metal off there because I don't want to get stung by a bee. But there's either another frost-free hydrant there, or the actual well itself's in there. I can't remember. But this will be my 3rd time selling this lot. And each time it's been improved. So I think when I initially sold this thing probably 12 years ago, maybe it's just the 4th time. I can't remember. But anyhow, maybe the first guy I sold a lot to, that's how it went. He had my excavator come in here and do all this, you know, put the driveway in here and do all this trellising and stuff of the ground. And as you can see, this is all shale in here, which is good. That's what we use to build roads out of. It's really easy to work in and it holds up. I mean, it doesn't cave in, it doesn't get muddy, anything like that. But now, if you want to have grass and stuff for a garden, you know, this is not the place to do it because this really doesn't grow much anything. But if you want to do a garden, that's easy enough to do a raised bed in here and haul some topsoil in here. But this fella, the first guy, had like he had bought some old log cabin somewhere, you know, where somebody had torn down some old log cabin or whatever. And he had part of it, you know, kind of like, it was real small. And he had that erected here and was doing stuff to it and putting stone on it. And then he just kind of gave up on that project. And then the next folks that bought it, I think they put in the well and septic, if I remember right. And they had the camper here, like, which I think, pretty sure the camper set here where my truck's sitting at. And then, so if you see like remnants, like, if you notice out there, those are some of the old logs, and they've just used them for bordering and edging and stuff like that, of the little shack or whatever that the guy had erected here where the pavilion stands now. So each owner has improved this, you know, along the way. It's just a neat place. It's extremely private here. The property line, like I said, goes up the mountain here above here, maybe another 100 yards or so up the hill. And then, you know, anybody that's building up there is way on top of the ridge. So, like, this, the way this thing's laid out, I mean, now across the road there on Brocket Drive, when you get down to the bottom of the driveway, there's somebody over there, but you can't see them. I don't think you can see them when the leaves are off. But in theory, I mean, there really can't be anybody, you know, now maybe across the road, but I mean, from right to left and up the mountain, I mean, it's impossible for anybody to be within 500 yards of you here, probably. So, very private. And I'll just let you take in this view one more time from here. This is a pretty special view. It's beautiful. Just check that out. This is a lot of bang for your buck here. I mean, if you're looking for a place just to come to on the weekends, hang out, have a good time, hunt, ride ATVs a little bit, go down to the river and fish, you know, and something that doesn't require a ton of maintenance. You know, you're not mowing a bunch of grass or having to worry about keeping something fancy all gussied up and everything. I mean, this is a place to come to and have a good time and leave, you know, and not worry about it. So, like I said, a lot of bang for the buck. Come check it out. This one is not going to last.